Welcome back, everyone. It's Dina Kalmeta here, and for today's news, I'd like to first talk about Israel, as media reports are claiming that Hezbollah, which effectively runs Lebanon, has announced its plans on attacking Israel this summer. The Israeli Broadcasting Corporation, Khan, cited an article in the Saudi Arabian daily newspaper published on Thursday, and in the article, Western diplomatic sources in Beirut stated that all the data indicates that a war is imminent in the very near future. The cause for Hezbollah's rise in aggression, according to the diplomatic sources, is that they feel besieged from all sides and is therefore willing to go to extreme measures to break out. The source stated that war against Israel can turn the bowl upside down as they grab all the cards. The diplomatic source also said that a confrontation can also break out in the northern section of the border between Lebanon and Syria before the U.S. presidential elections. This week, a Lebanese newspaper reported that there is talk in Hezbollah circles about a possible war with Israel in August. And a few days ago, American Caesar's Syria Civilian Protection Act went into effect. The legislation imposes economic sanctions on the Syrian government, including Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, for war crimes against the Syrian population. The law has economic implications for both Lebanon and Lebanese Hezbollah. It goes on further to report that Iranian and Russian entities are addressed for their government support of Assad in the Syrian civil war. Last weekend, Hezbollah's military branch released a video in the context of psychological warfare with Israel, in which they tried to convey a message that they have in their arsenal accurate missiles despite Israel's attempts to thwart Hezbollah's attempts to acquire advanced missiles. It goes on even further to report that Hezbollah is generally considered the most powerful non-state actor in the world, and to be stronger than the Lebanese army. Estimations of Hezbollah's total rocket count range are from 40,000 to 150,000, which is considerably more than most countries. Since 2010, there have been rumors that Hezbollah has been supplied with large, powerful, Soviet-made Scud missiles from Syria. Hezbollah possesses limited numbers of anti-aircraft and anti-ship missiles, as well as thousands of anti-tank missiles, which they are skilled at using. And by comparison, during the 2006 war, Hezbollah fired 4,000 short-range rockets into northern Israel, which killed 50 people from Israel. In an article for the BESA, Dr. Elam noted the threat of Hezbollah missiles, stating that the IDF has many more weapons and much more manpower than Hezbollah, but Hezbollah has up to 150,000 projectiles aimed at Israel, and all of Israel is within Hezbollah's missile range, but it would primarily target the north of the country. The sheer quantity of rockets available to Hezbollah means that Israel's defense system, such as the Iron Dome, would only be able to intercept some of them. And the only way to completely stop the firing of missiles and rockets would be to run a large-scale offensive inside Lebanon. The IAF has been training to launch thousands of sorties aimed at destroying Hezbollah targets, mainly its rockets. But the IAF might not be able to accomplish this mission by itself, especially if rockets hit its airfields. Israel might have no alternative but to also conduct a major ground defense. So some serious news in regards to Israel. But will there be a war this summer? It's definitely possible, but we will have to wait and see. And as always, I'll continue to follow these reports and bring you updates. But I would like to move on and talk about Russia, Turkey, Iran, and Syria. It is being reported that apparently President Putin told his counterparts from Turkey and Iran on Wednesday that there was a need for peaceful dialogue between the opposing forces in Syria's civil war. Putin also told the presidents of Turkey and Iran in a televised video conference that hotspots of terrorism still remain in Syria's Idlib and other regions. He stated an inclusive inter-Syrian dialogue should be actively promoted within the framework of the Constitutional Committee in Geneva. I propose to support this process to help the participants to meet and start a direct dialogue. In a joint statement, Russia, Turkey, and Iran expressed the conviction that Syria's war had no military solution and has to be settled only via a political process. They also welcomed a meeting of the Syrian Constitutional Committee in August, a gathering that is meant to be a step forward in what the United Nations says will be a long road to political reapproachment, followed by elections. They also agreed to hold the next trilateral summit on Syria in Iran, but gave no date, saying it would meet when possible. And apart from the Syrian issue, the three countries agreed to promote their economic cooperation. So this right here is a very interesting headline, because we see these same nations, Russia, Turkey, and Iran, in the prophecy Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. All three of these nations, including other nations, will form an alliance against Israel to invade Israel. So it's very interesting to watch them come together now and work so well together. And then we have Syria and all the fighting that's happening there. But there's also a prophecy about Syria, as many of you already know, in Isaiah 17:1, where Damascus will become a ruinous heap. So these headlines here are literally racing forward to prophecy, which will eventually be fulfilled. But with all of that said, I'd love to hear from all of you. So please do leave your comments in the comment section. And thank you, everybody, so much for watching. God bless.